Good day, folks, and welcome to Just Omer. My name is Omer, Ahern Jr., and this is my periodic, most of the time weekly report on what's going on up at the Grafton County government here in Grafton County, New Hampshire. I am one of the Grafton County Commissioners representing District 3, which includes the towns pretty much on the eastern and southern part of Grafton County, Alexandria, Bristol, Ashland, Holderness, up to Campton, then up to Warren, and then as far over as Canaan and Dorchester and Groton and Orange. And of course including Plymouth, Holderness, and Hebron and Wentworth. So I serve with two other county commissioners. I serve with Commissioner Wendy Piper, who serves in County Commissioner District 1. Commissioner Piper is the chairperson of the Grafton County Commissioners. And we also serve with Commissioner Linda Lauer, who serves District 2, which includes the towns on the western and northern part of Grafton County. And we meet every week. We meet on Tuesday mornings up at the county complex in North Haverhill. Our meetings start at 9 o'clock, and where we start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. This past week, on June 22nd, 3 days ago, we met at the county courthouse rather than in the county administration building. The commissioners feel it's necessary to get out into the different office areas of the county complex so that the county employees and county staff people and visitors can see who their county commissioners are. And actually there was quite a bit of appreciation expressed on Tuesday when we were over in the courthouse. A lot of the staff people over there came over and said, thank you for coming over to visit with us. So that was good. So the first item on the agenda after the Pledge of Allegiance was we were expecting a public comment from someone, and the person didn't arrive or didn't appear on the Zoom screen. Oh, that's another thing. All of our meetings, all of the commissioner meetings can be viewed and participated in via Zoom. If you go to the County Commissioner website, you can find the link, the Zoom link to our weekly County Commissioner meetings. The first department head that met with us was Captain Chris Kendall. He is the interim county superintendent for the House of Correction, Department of Corrections. And he gave the weekly report, or the monthly report, on what's going on over at the Department of Corrections. And he did advise us that they are still looking for some new staff people to come over and work for the county as corrections officers. And he also did say that with the opening up of the courts, the cancellation of the lockdown system by the governor, we are now, our inmate population is now going up. And actually, for the county operation, one of the side benefits of the inmate population going up, I know it's tough for the inmates, but is with the inmate population going up, that means we now have more help out on the county farm. And that's one of the things I hope to talk to a little bit in depth about today as part of my program today is the county farm operations up there in Grafton County. So again, we're very pleased. Captain Kendall is a longtime employee with Grafton County Department of Corrections, and we're very pleased that he could come over and make that report for us. After that, we had the county finance director, Julie Libby, and she came over and gave us the regular monthly finance report and talked a little bit about the end of the fiscal year. The end of our fiscal year in Grafton County is June 30th, and she does a really fantastic job on giving us the financial reports, where we are in terms of revenue, where we are in expenses, which departments are right on the money, right on target in terms of their revenue increase or revenue lagging behind in their revenues, and of course expenses. After the finance director, Julie Libby, met with us, we had Pat Garvin from the community development to talk with us about a community development block grant. This was a mini grant public hearing about the money, the grant money that comes into Grafton County for the CDBG, and we have to have a public hearing every time the money is requested. And this was what Pat Garvin, who's been a long-time grant administrator for Grafton County, and so we had our public hearing on there. After that, we had our report from the High Sheriff of Grafton County, Jeffrey Stiegler, who talked about what's going on at the Sheriff's Department and his need to hire some more deputy sheriffs to complete his staff, his minimum staff needs at the Sheriff's Department. And he also was there when we met with Tom Andros, the dispatch center director. The dispatch center is under the auspices of the Sheriff's Department, and Mr. Andros came in asking for the consent of the commissioners to send 2 of his dispatchers to a conference in Columbus, Ohio, and it was going to cost the county about $1,000 in travel to send those 2 folks over to that conference. And when the commissioners voted on that request to spend $1,000 of taxpayer money to send these 2 folks over to this conference in Columbus, Ohio, the vote was 2-1. And Commissioner Ahern was the one commissioner that voted against sending them over to Ohio. After that, we had a non-public session with the sheriff, and I can't talk about non-public items here in the public. In the commissioner issues, we talked about and formally adopted the Uniform Guidance Policy and Procedure Manual, which had been revised by our finance director, Julie Libby, subsequent to the hiring of the new county administrator in mid-February. That's when Andrew Dorsett, our new county administrator, came on board, and Julie Libby then took over all of the duties and basically is just concentrating totally on finance issues. We also had a report about the Livermore, the area known as Livermore up in the northern Grafton County, and the Grafton County has kind of been sharing the administrative responsibilities for this little section of the White Mountain Forest located in Grafton County, but normally is, believe it or not, administered by Coos County, and our Sheriff's Department is involved with the law enforcement issues, if any, up there. So Coos County has asked the Grafton County to take over the financial administration of any Livermore Falls areas, and the commissioners agreed to adopt that. Then we are discussing the software issues, as I think I kind of alluded to at my last Just Omer presentation. In this day and age, software, information technology, computers, security, saving of documents in the cloud. It's just an incredibly expensive project, and we're experiencing some issues with that, and we are at present addressing those issues and making sure that those issues will not adversely affect the county. After that, the commissioners were given a tour of the county attorney's offices over there in the county courthouse, and I was then given a tour of the sheriff's office, which is essentially in the basement of the county courthouse building. Just one of the things that to mention about the county courthouse, again, which I alluded to, I don't know, at 2 or 3 just Omers ago, we're having some concerns about the structural integrity of the county courthouse, which was built in the early 1970s. So it's a 50-year-old structure. And if you've had a chance to go up to the county complex and view the county courthouse, you're going to see there's a lot of glass in that structure. And in this day and age of very expensive fuel costs to heat, you're going to realize that Grafton County does have an issue in terms of heating that building alone. Our maintenance supervisor, Jim Oakes, has been letting us know that we've got some issues with some of the electronic equipment and elevators and things like that in the county courthouse. So, as I said, the county commissioners, the previous board, retained a group of engineers and architects to do a study of our existing building, what it's going to cost to bring that existing courthouse up to code, present codes, federal and state codes, versus building a new building. And to make a long story short, the results of that report came back and said to build a new building on the county complex with all of the needs, all of the space needs that we need for the Superior Court, the Circuit Court, the probation department, the sheriff's office, and all the other needs there for the county and the court needs of the state of New Hampshire and the county. We're looking at about a $34 million for that project, and to renovate the existing courthouse, that's about a $36 million project. So more to renovate the existing building, less to build a new building, and $2 million of that $34 million for the new building, the new county courthouse. If we decide to do it, $2 million of that $34 million would be used just to demolish the existing courthouse. And of course, we've got issues with, well, if you're going to be renovating the existing building and you've got, hammering going on and sawing and drilling going on, how is that going to affect, the ongoing necessary governmental functions over there? The judges trying to run trials, the sheriff's office trying to do what it does in terms of investigating things and so on. Just a lot of issues that the commissioners are going to have to try to decide upon in conversation with the county delegation. And again, the county delegation is made up of all of the elected state representatives from Grafton County. So that was basically what we talked about on June 22nd. Our next meeting will be next Tuesday, and we will be meeting, I don't think we'll be meeting at the county complex. We may be meeting at the nursing home, I guess, but if you want to know where we're going to meet, go to the Grafton County website, and you'll see where things are there. So one of the things I'd like to finally get into depth on is the different aspects of county government that are required by state statute. As I've mentioned in the past, county government and the functions of county government have been around since the 1870s. And one of the unique capabilities that I think I bring as a county commissioner here in Grafton County is the fact that I grew up at a county home in New Hampshire during the 1950s and 1960s and into the 1970s. So I know what it's like to be in a county home setting, to see what goes on in the nursing home, to see what goes on around and sometimes in the House of Correction, and what goes on in the farm setting. And originally the farm at the county home was put in place to feed the residents in the nursing home and to feed the inmates at the Department of Corrections. And right now, Grafton County is the last of the 10 counties in New Hampshire to still have an active, viable dairy operation. Right now, we're milking between 77 and 88 dairy cows, depending upon the time of year and where all of the things fit in, when the calves are going to be born and so on. And the milk that we produce right now at Grafton County is sold to Agrimark, and we derive some pretty good income from that, which is used to help offset some of the expenses of the county farm operation. The dairy farm building, the hay buildings, the livestock buildings are right out behind the nursing home. And I know I've had some clients who have, and relatives who have been in the nursing home, and one of the things that they always comment positively about is the fact that sometimes they can see the cows out there, and that really makes them feel, kind of like at home. So that's another great thing I think that the county farm brings to the residents in our nursing home. We also have pigs that we sell, and we also have chickens that produce eggs that we do sell at our farm stand, and we do feed into the Department of Corrections. We also have a 700-acre woodlot where we have timber growing that is harvested every 10 or 12 years in accordance with a forestry management plan. And we're lucky that we have the county forester, Jim Frone, who his offices are right in the county administration building, and he's able to keep an eye on and help manage that woodlot, which is on the other side of the road from the county nursing home and the House of Correction. So this is a time of year where things are starting to be harvested, and hay is the big thing, because we feed a lot of hay into the dairy cows. But right now we are actually one farm hand short. We usually are staffed with the farm manager and 2 farm workers, and then we have the inmate labor to come over to help milk the cows, help feed the pigs, and clean out the piggery and so on. The other thing, though, that's unique to this year is because of the lockdown and the courts not being fully open and operational, we didn't have enough inmate labor this year to, in the opinion of 2 out of the 3 commissioners, to plant the vegetable fields this year. So the vegetable fields, for the most part, are lying fallow, giving them, one of the side benefits, if you will, is giving the chance for the vegetable fields to rest a year with a cover crop that should help to improve the quality of the soil for the next set of crops that will probably be, we will be planting there next year under the Farm Doc program, which I've mentioned several times over the last couple of months. So Farm Doc involves the county farm, and we hope that part of the Farm Doc program will be to feed and provide dairy products to the Department of Corrections. Milk, whole milk, cream, butter, cheese, to the Department of Corrections, and we, the Department of Corrections is 200 yards away from the dairy barn. We're talking about planting vegetables that can also be fed into the House of Correction and into the nursing home, and storing some of those vegetables for use during the winter. The two main crops that we have planted this year, because we're able to use a lot of the equipment and to plant and harvest these two vegetables, is potatoes and winter squash. We're also growing some sweet corn this year that will, from what I understand, is going to be fed into the inmates in the House of Correction. And of course, we're growing silage corn in order to store that in our on-ground bunkers to feed into our dairy cows. So one of the things we're looking at is, because of all the state and federal food safety rules and regulations, which were not in place when I was growing up at the county home over in Unity, New Hampshire, at the Sullivan County home and the Sullivan County farm, it's just a whole myriad of rules and regulations that are something that we're going to have to navigate our way through as we implement and put into place Farm Doc. So, but one of the easier things is getting a processing facility on the farm that will allow us to make pasteurized milk and make the cheese, make butter, and those are the things that can be made, very easily from the milk that we produce on the dairy farm. I'm pretty sure that we will not have to terminate our contract with Agrimark, that we can continue to meet our contractual obligations to Agrimark on a weekly basis, and still, with a couple more, 4 or 5 more cows that we have them in waiting to provide the basic materials to provide the milk and the cheese and the ice cream and the butter for the inmates in the House of Correction. And with the vegetables, growing the vegetables, and we have some beautiful, beautiful vegetable growing fields up there in North Haverhill on the banks of the Connecticut River. We're very blessed to have that kind of wonderful soil up there. We can grow, the beets, the carrots, the rutabagas, and the root crops that can be stored in a root cellar up there, or can be frozen, processed and frozen, and feed those items into the Department of Corrections and into the nursing home during the winter months. Again, this is the purpose of Farm Doc, is to hopefully decrease by 98% the amount of the food items that we have to buy from from the market. I keep saying the Cisco truck. Nothing against Cisco, but in terms of sustainability, the county looking forward, we need to make sure that no matter what happens in the world around us, we will still be able to provide the food necessary to feed the folks in the nursing home that are dependent upon what we're supposed to be doing at the nursing home, providing for their care and safety, and also providing for the well-being of the inmates in the Department of Corrections. So this is partly what is important about the Farm Doc program. One of the other big items that we have there at Grafton County that is something that's relatively new in the last, I think, 6 or 8 years, is we do have a wood-fired power plant there. It is a chip plant, and it provides the heating to all of the buildings on the county complex, except for the Department of Corrections. When the new Department of Corrections facility was being built in the early 2009, 2008 into 2011, the decision had been made to, when they were building that they were going to use in-ground heat pumps to heat, and they evidently did not work out, so now we're relying essentially on propane. That was the backup system, but propane in order to heat the Department of Corrections facility. Again, we are looking for a farm labor person to come and work at the Grafton County Farm. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize a person who over the last 30 years or so has been a real friend to the Grafton County Farm. He's a neighbor to the farm, and I just can't say enough about Howard Hatch and how he has been so helpful to the Grafton County farm operations over the years. I've talked with Howard. Howard has Hatchland Dairies, and we in no way is Farm Doc designed to interfere or to compete with any local farm operations in New Hampshire. But where we can, in Grafton County, on the farm, provide our own food without having to buy it off the Cisco truck, that's what we're going to try to do. But Howard and his family and his crew over the years, if one of our tractors breaks down or one of our mowers breaks down or the potato planter doesn't work or the potato harvester doesn't work, Howard has been right there. Howard Hatch, I thank you, sir, for your helpfulness and being a good citizen by helping out the Grafton County Farm over the years. Thank you, Howard. There's just so much that's going to be going on at the county complex over the next few years. Again, we're talking about what we're going to do with the county courthouse. A lot of studies going on with that. Getting the farm dock implemented. Are we going to be able to process our own beef on our dairy farm there up in North Haverhill at the county complex? Will we be able to process our own pork up there, process our own chickens? The vegetables aren't a problem. One of the things that may be of help to us is the ARPA money that's coming in from the federal government, the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA. Will some of those funds be available to help us put in some of these infrastructure programs for the county farm as well as for the county complex in general? The big items they're talking about as infrastructure under ARPA are water, sewer, and broadband. But I attended a webinar yesterday through the New Hampshire Association of Counties talking about the information they're getting from the federal government. And right now, things are still in interim. There is not any final set rules coming from the federal government as to what we can do specifically with the ARPA money. So that's going to be more of my discussion coming up in the following weeks and months. Again, I want to thank very much the folks here at PBTV for hosting me. I really appreciate working with Commissioners Piper and Commissioner Lauer, working with the members of the delegation. Remember, elections have consequences, folks. So please talk with your legislators. Let them know how you feel about the county budget, which has been passed. And there is going to be no increase in the county tax rate for the fiscal year 2022 budget. No increase in the county tax rate. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you for listening in. God bless America, and God bless the Granite State of New Hampshire. Thank you.